Alright, hey guys, this is Gail. Thank you for joining me. This is a requested video. My Crafty BFF Mika requested I make a tutorial on how I do shakers in Cricut Design Space. I'm having to do this on my iPad because I can't screen record on my I use a really old Surface Pro, and yes, I could probably do it, but it's going to take a minute, and it's going to be a lot harder. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a shaker with an image that you find and one with a shape, which is actually a lot easier. So let's go to the image. I'm going to show you the shell that I made a few weeks ago. I shared in my stories, I believe. And I made it, but it didn't come out perfect. This image was hard to get it to where the inside frame was smaller than the outside frame, if that makes sense. So we're going to insert this shell image. And this makes a good shaker because it is, I can't, I'm so used to my pinch zoom, sorry. Okay, so this is going to make a good shaker because it has all these spots that are cut out, so you'll be able to see through your, excuse me, you'll be able to see through the acetate on the top. So basically what we're going to need is this top frame. This will be out of scrapbook paper, excuse me. I'm so sorry. So this will be out of scrapbook paper, and then we need two pieces for the top and bottom, and the top obviously has to be acetate because you want to be able to see through it, and the bottom can be scrapbook paper. So what we want to go ahead and do is duplicate this because we want it to be the same exact size. It doesn't matter what size it is, but let's go ahead and duplicate this. Now, we only want the base of this, so we wanted to fill in all these spots that are cut out. So we're going to go to contour, and we're going to hide, it's so hard, okay, there it goes. We're going to hide these contours so that this is just one flat piece. Alright, now we're going to need two of those, so let's duplicate that. So let's go ahead and change the colors so that we can kind of keep track of our mats and what everything is. So let's just make these pink and just say, okay, my pink is going to be acetate. Or you can use scrapbook paper in the back, but you would have to make it two different colors. You know, one is acetate, one is scrapbook paper. Okay, now comes the tricky part. We're going to have to make a little frame that is just like the outside of this shell piece, which I don't think we're going to be able to do it in contour, so let's see. No, we won't be able to do it that way. So what we're going to have to do is the same thing we did before, or just duplicate the other piece, but I've already got this on here, so. Alright, so let's make this piece white. Well, actually, we need to go ahead and duplicate it first, so let's duplicate it. Now what we're going to try to do is make it just smaller so that we can have a frame. So let's just go make it a little bit smaller. And it might be easier to work in even numbers, like make one 3 inches, make one 3 point, you know. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm just going to show you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is change the color of this one. And I'm going to make it white. Okay, so I'm also going to make sure it's forward of this piece. And I think that looks about okay, but I think these side pieces are going to be too small. So it says 2.9, so I'm just going to go up to 3 on the width. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's just get this out of the way. We're going to select these two pieces. And what we want to do is align them. Now this is align center. Okay, so it's different on the computer. It says vertically and horizontally. So now we know that's exactly in the middle. So what we're going to do now is slice. Okay, So now we're going to take away the pieces we don't need. We don't need that piece. We don't need this piece. We just need this frame. And I'm going to go ahead and change that color to white as well so that you can use white cardstock, or you can just use a coordinating cardstock that goes with the top piece that you're using. But let's just see how this is going to stack up. So you're going to need, depending on what material you're cutting and what you have in your shaker, you're going to need 6 to 10 layers. If you're just using flimsy paper, you're obviously going to need more. So just go ahead and duplicate it. Let's just say 7 times. So those are going to be what you stack up. But let's see how this is all going to layer up. Let's put that right on top of there. And let's see if this is going to cover the frame part. So what you're going to want to do is go to, let's see if we need to arrange it. So let's edit, arrange, and send this to the front. No, not. Okay. Now, we're going to put this over here to see if, and that looks good. So that means everything will line up. That's probably the thing I didn't do when I made my other one. And I learned from that mistake. And alternatively, you can make this little top piece just slightly bigger. Like say this is right now, it's 3.34. So you could go to like 3.4 just to make it a little bit bigger to make sure it covers this. But that looks pretty good to me. However, it is going to be hard to keep them stacked perfectly when you are gluing them all together, but just for the sake of the video, I'm going to stop here, and that's going to be my top piece. So this is how you're going to do it. You'll have your bottom piece, and then you're going to, all these little pieces you're going to glue together to make like the little stack. Let's pretend this is them all stacked together. You're going to put that on there, put your little shaker bits in, put this on the top, okay, of all of that. So let's send this to the front for now. So that's going to go on top. And then this, now we're going to have to send this all the way to the front. And put that on top of the piece of acetate. And then that is going to be your shaker. If you have any questions about that, just leave them in the comments down below. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do it with a shape. So let's go ahead and save this. I don't think I have this saved to my iPad, because this one came out pretty well. Save as. I'm going to show. I'm going to do 3. I think I've already done 2 of these. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a new project here. And I think the circle will be the easiest shape to show. So let's just go ahead and select a shape and do circle. Now let's just make it an even, like let's just say a 4-inch circle. Okay, so a 4-inch circle. Now let's go ahead and duplicate that, because we need a bottom piece. So let's duplicate that and get it out of the way. Now let's make another circle, but in a different color this time, and let's just make it white because that's going to be easiest to see. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, so let's just make that white. And let's go, if that was 4 inches, let's do like 3.75. That leaves us a 1/4 inch border. That might not be enough. Let's go to 3.65. Let's see how that looks. So depending, if you want your little outside border to be bigger, that would be fine too. Let's try 3.6. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead, now that we have these together, let's select both of them, and we're going to go ahead and go to Align, Center. So it looks like the iPad does it automatically. So that is centered. And now that we still have both of them selected, let's go ahead to slice. Now we're going to take out the parts that we don't need. We don't need this one. We don't need this one. This one, however, we need to duplicate. See, it got rid of our original one, so that's why I went ahead and duplicated it before I did the slicing. So, you know, one of these will have to be the back, and one will have to be acetate, obviously. And let's just make this one. So we're going to make it out of pretty paper, probably. So pink. And then we can go ahead and duplicate that one again. And we need a lot of them for the filler. So let's go ahead and make that one white, just so we know that's the one we need a lot of pieces of. And duplicate that many times. Alright. So then how you're going to assemble this one is you're going to have your bottom piece. You're going to glue all these together. Then glue that on there. Then put your shaker bits in. Then you're going to glue your top on. So there goes your top, which is going to be acetate. Okay. And then you are going to glue on the decorative top piece. And that is going to be your shaker. And you can get more complicated with images. I will try to find the Halloween shaker frame that I made that was super complicated. And it was when I was newer to Cricut and crafting, and it took me 2 days and I cried. But I learned from it, and I learned how to do it, so it was a good experience. But that is basically it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'm trying to keep this video as short as possible. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.